Way Fox News is Tucker Carlson on the phone. A lot of our problems could be fixed if we just had term limits in the Senate and the House. Period.
Yeah, on the other hand, people should have a right to vote for who they want to vote for.
But on the other hand, man, every other form of government, whether it be the president, whether it be my local sheriff, whether it be my local governor, they have term limits. Why are these two branches immune to term limits? Because they're the ones that make the rules for those. And I mean, at the end of the day, if I didn't have a Jesse Helms or a Byrd or a Kennedy or a Brownback on all these lifelong, sucking off the hind teat of America, we could get some new ideas. And some guys like you and I, younger generation men that are free thinkers in there, but they have a stranglehold on their districts and the people they represent, and it's just it's the same old. People don't like change, but change is good. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, and I don't think change is always good. I think change is always destructive. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. But sometimes you want people who understand how the system works. I mean,
yeah,
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, I don't think. What you're saying is smart and right, mostly, but the flip side is you also get people who have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, but you know what? Having no idea what you're doing and not tainted by the good old boy network and the lobbyists, when you've entrenched yourself like a Kennedy or a Byrd or a Brownback or a Helms or something like that, when you've entrenched yourself, you know that you have every lobbyist in your palm of your hand, and at that point, man, that's all bad. You know that.
It's not all bad. First of all, it's not all bad. Second, if you're only passing through, like in California, where the state legislature is term limited, it's become so much crazier because people know they can do whatever they want. It's like they don't care; they're out of there anyway. So if they want to, pass some bill that guarantees free ice cream to everybody, they can. They're not going to.
Well, it seems like every other form of the government, whether it be my local my state governor, my local sheriff, everybody else has term limits. Why are these two branches particularly immune to them? Just answer me that.
I think the technical answer is the Constitution is read as prohibiting term limits at the federal level. I think that's the answer.
Well, then why the president?
That's because there is a constitutional amendment that says the president can only serve 2 terms. But it's a constitutional amendment. I think we would need an amendment.
I think it's very loosey-goosey at best. Brandon, there's 3 forms of the government, and the 2 are in bed with each other to go against the 1. Hell, that's the premise of our whole government. If the president's got, the majority, he's a little bit more stronger. If he doesn't, if he's a lame duck and or, doesn't have the majority, then he has to walk a little bit lightly. I mean, that's the whole problem in itself.
Yeah. I think you're right. But just back to Ted Kennedy, I'm not going to defend anything he ever did, I think. And he was always running around calling people racist, which I hate.
You are a racist?
Everyone who disagreed with him was racist. Everyone was racist. But I also think that he was a pretty charming guy, I have to say. He was, and a pretty effective legislator in D.C. And he also brought his dog to committee hearings, which I really liked.
Hey, I love dogs too, but...
he was a bad... Look, I'm not defending him. I think he was a bad senator, and I hated how these kind of middle-aged baby boomers sucked up to him and made this ludicrous Camelot nonsense up and just beat us over the head with it. I mean, that and Woodstock. I wish it just...
I mean, how do Irish rednecks become Camelot? That's what I don't understand.
And the corruption in itself all starts with shady-ass Joe Kennedy being a moonshiner and a bootlegger.
Well, he was the one guy I kind of respected. I mean, he was a pretty...
Of course.
You know what I mean? He was like an energetic guy, not exactly self-made, but sort of. I mean, I like guys like that. He was a rogue, but at least, he didn't have it all handed to him. People like Ted Kennedy, who, got a Senate seat at age 30 or whatever in 1962. I don't respect that so much.
Well, I mean, Bobby on down had it all handed to him. I mean, please. But the bottom line is, isn't there rumors or maybe even fact that Joe told Bobby, lay off the mob, man, chill out, man? Because, the mob was, rumor has it, of course, that the mob and Joe had ties and that the mob helped get John F. Kennedy elected with Daley and the boys out of Chicago, and that, when Bobby came in to be the attorney general and started being, all this ball buster on the mob, that the mob told Joe, settle it down a notch. I mean, what's that big?
Well, I think there's probably some truth in all that. Well, certainly West Virginia and Illinois were stolen by the Kennedys. There's no, in 1960, there's just no doubt about it. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah,
people involved in that theft have come forward and admitted it.
Yeah, historically, that's pretty much a recognized fact at this point.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if it was the mafia, but clearly, the crooked unions and and other people who don't respect democracy, stole that election. That was a stolen election. Nixon should have won. Okay, he didn't. No whining about it, but it's true.
But I kicked myself in the ass. I forget what channel it was, like channel 101, one of the upper channels, the bio channel, and they had a thing on Santos Trafficani a couple nights ago, and I missed it. And I've always wanted to see that. The guy out of Tampa, I know you're familiar with him, Tucker. And And a lot of people say that he had a lot to do with the Kennedy assassination out of Cuba.
I'm working on. There's a book coming out called Mr. New Orleans, and we got a guy coming in that used to run the whores for Carlos Marcello for 30 years. And he's still in hiding to this day from the federal government.
He's coming into the studio?
He's going to come in under protection, and he's going to tell us the whole deal.
He's going to come into the studio, is he?
Yeah.
Well, so he's coming to your studio?
Well, then they can find him.
Well, I got to get down there. Yeah. I got to get down there. I was in the airport yesterday. I was at BWI, Baltimore Washington International, and this guy comes up, and he goes, I listen to you all the time on Bubba, and I just love that show. And have you been down to Tampa? Have you been to their studios? And I said, no. He goes, you got to go down there. He'd just been in Tampa. He said it was like the greatest place he's ever been.
You should come sit in for a couple of days and just be part of the show.
Not only that,
I know. I'm going to as soon as I get my life together and stop working.
During the crappy months of Washington, D.C., like November through February, when it's beautiful down here, bring your family down here for a vacation. Get you passes to Busch Gardens and Disney and Universal and all that kind of things. And we'll get you set up with one of the real nice resorts. We'll take care of you, and you can come in and do the show for a few days.
I get down there for a lot of the winter anyway. I'm in Boca. You know where Boca Grande is?
Well, I don't know where that is. Of course I do, Tucker. Jesus.
How close? That's pretty close, right?
Yeah, no, it's not very far. It's across the state, but we can. It's not far.
No, it's not. I don't think it's. No, Boca Grande is right. It's on the West Coast.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of West Palm Beach. No, yeah, Boca is just over by Fort Myers, Naples, St. Mark.
Right, exactly.
That's about 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got to see it. I want to see like the row upon row of strip bars in Tampa.
Yeah,
you'll definitely see that.
Yeah, man. Leave your girl back in Boca and give yourself a couple 2-man nights with us, and we'll show you how to do it and not be at the bow tie and wearing pussy that a lot of people think that you are, but you're really not. We'll get a carton of Marlboro Reds, Brent, and we'll get after it. I swear to God.
Oh man! All right.
Some Jack Daniel's whiskey.
All right. Well, go back to. I got a split. I hope you guys set some of the swingers straight when they call in again, if you wouldn't mind.
I didn't get a chance to ask any of my questions at all, Brent. We got into swinging and kid touching, and Tucker, that's an expert on both.
I'm sorry. I have very strong feelings about swinging. I can't.
Tucker says, ladies and gentlemen, Fox News' Tucker says, it's okay to touch kids. It's not cool to swing. One is illegal and one's not.
Just for the record, I'm totally adamantly opposed. I've got 4 children. I just wish someone would come out and say, it's not a good idea to encourage your wife to sleep with other dudes, and if you do, you're a sicko.
He doesn't even worry about his kids. He just worries about his wife. Man, what a sicko. You're the sicko, kid.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bubba.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm sure when I'm in an airport next week, someone's going to come up and confront me on this, by the way. So thanks for that.
I'm glad that the Bubba Army comes up and is very nice to you. You know what? They by the way, I got to tell you, man, you're probably, out of all the guests we have, for some reason, they love you. They just absolutely love you. I don't have any idea why, but they love you.
Well, the Bubba Army comes up literally every time I'm in a men's room, elevator, airport. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're everywhere.
Anytime you're in a men's room.
It's always the same. It's always like, man, the person like comes in and whispers conspiratorially, I listen to you on Bubba. And they do listen, man. They listen to, like, every one of your shows.
So when you're in an airport and you're kicking it out wide, like Craig did, and then the guy next door is giving you the tap, tap, ping, and then you guys have something in common, that's the Bubba Army.
He passes a note and just says Bubba with an exclamation point. And I know that's kind of our sign.
Exactly. Then you put your foot a little bit closer. The next thing you know, you guys are getting crazy.
But you know what? Can I say one thing? I mean, I'm sorry to be crude, but I don't even know how do you hook up in a men's room? First of all, it's like nauseating, but second, logistically, I don't even know how that works.
I can barely fit in a stall myself.
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
Let alone,
one, I can't.
Another man.
You got to use a handicap stall.
You got to use a handicap stall. Then
handicap stall, always.
Or you drill a hole in between the two, and you do a glory hole type deal.
Yeah.
I'm against that, but I've denounced enough sexual practices for one morning, so I'm not going to go there.
I'll talk to you in a week, buddy.
You're the best. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye now.